want to introduce Patrick Moraites a little bit more and talk a little bit more depth about this PEO. Let's start off again, just kind of blanket. What is a PEO?
Yeah, PEO stands for Professional Employer Organization. Another term or common terminology is employee leasing or co-employer. To kind of give the 30,000-foot view, you kind of laid the foundation or groundwork before. It's really leveraging economies of scale. So the PEO becomes the administrative employer. So they handle all the back office stuff that really you don't want to handle as a business owner. Payroll, HR, workers' comp, benefits, 401k, your ancillary benefits, all that is administered through the PEO. So you can focus in on what you got into business to do in the first place. So you but you are the worksite employer. So that's how you kind of dissect the two. And the economies of scale come into play from the aspect of, the PEOs that we work with have anywhere from 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 worksite employees under their tax ID number. So the buying power that they have is significant. So you get technology updates and upgrades, discounts on your workers' comp insurance, the accessibility of labor attorneys and HR professionals, where if you're a 5, 10, 15 person company, you're not going to be able to afford to have that type of access. So that is, some of the really important driving factors of leveraging, a PEO.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at, similar decision I made months ago when I was a small independent real estate company, trying to grow, trying to compete with the big name companies, the billion-dollar players like Gary Keller and Keller Williams. And then I looked at it like, wow, okay, let's join that team. And now we've got all this technology at our disposal, great teamwork, the opportunity to work with other agents.
You were talking about the booklets earlier. I mean, how thick are those?
Yeah, those are nice little pamphlets.
I mean, and those are free just by leveraging your real estate firm. So, I mean, that's huge from the buyer and seller standpoint that you get that much data to go off of. I mean, no one does that.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna help people in that space. But so it makes sense. Now, so here we are. So let's think about this as a business owner. This is the Wall Street Business Network, 102.5 The Bone. Lots of savvy business people listening to our program. So when would be a good time for someone to consider maybe getting a quote for a PEO?
Okay, no, that's great. So there's a couple things you gotta play out as far as where you're at within your business and what's the driving factor for you looking at leveraging a PEO. So a lot of clients that we deal with, it's work comp driven. So you need to examine when your work comp renewal is, and that could be depending upon the company at any point in the year. Another driving factor may be your employee benefits renewal. So a lot of times those renewals are staggered. They don't always align due to how you grow your business. So you may, secure workers' comp in March. Next thing you know, you grow throughout the year, and you don't add employee benefits until, November. So you've got a staggered renewal. So figuring out what's most important to you, and then a lot of organizations look at getting quotes for the start of the year, so that way they can start everything clean and fresh, and you don't have any tax restarts. So, for example, if you're doing everything on your own and you're paying into state unemployment and you ultimately make the decision to go with a PEO, you're actually going to have to restart paying your state unemployment taxes. So there's things to consider from a cost standpoint, and making sure you fully understand the cost benefit of maybe potentially waiting or going ahead and moving forward. Because the saving you may incur, it end up maybe in a wash. You may incur so much savings on your workers' comp and benefits that restarting your state unemployment taxes doesn't really matter.
Timing is important.
Timing is important, yeah.
So timing is going to be key on that. And then what documents would they need to bring, or how would that consultation work out?
Yeah, so in order to, if you're going to go through this process alone, right? So you want to give yourself at least 3 months to work this out, so you're not stressed. The last thing you want to do is realize that your renewal is next week, and then you're trying to get a quote, because the amount of documents you need to pull together is significant. It's important to have payroll registers. If you currently have workers' comp, your workers' comp loss history. So 3 years of that, if you've been in business for 3 years. If you haven't, a no loss affidavit plus the amount of time you've had workers' comp loss history, payroll registers, general business information from your FEIN, locations, all that data needs to be compiled and pulled together. If you're doing employee benefits, it's a whole nother animal, from an employee census, personal health questionnaires. So there's a lot of things you have to compile. That takes time. And it takes you away from doing what you got in the business to do in the first place. So you want to make sure you're prepared to go through a lengthy process with that.
Yeah, it's important. We're talking with Patrick Moraites, a.k.a. the PEO Piper, we decided today, and the PEO Advantage. So
Kristen today, right?
Yes, that's right.
Just today.
Follow the Piper.
Yeah. So, helping you understand more about your small business, medium-sized business, this are things that, it's going to help you take your business to the next level. And that's the idea, is to, leverage the knowledge, the resources of another a firm that's not competing, and it's going to help you grow your business. So, when
it
you
gives
look
you
at
a
that,
competitive advantage if you think about it, because if you're a small company and maybe you're not offering benefits, now you can.
And you're more attractive
You're
to
more
employers.
you're more attractive to employees.
Yep.
It helps with retention. So that's really important, or important consideration of engaging a PEO, because you can offer things that you wouldn't be able and that offered before. Plus, the one thing we always forget to talk about is the technology.
Yeah.
I mean, the technology upgrades are significant. Having a true human resource information system to where you can store documents, employees stop coming to you to see W-2s and pay stubs, because it's all stored online. They can access it from their phone. They can clock in, clock out from their phone. I mean, so the upgrades to give you that look and feel of a Fortune 500 company is all right there.
Yeah, we were talking about it. A friend of mine, we were talking, and it was interesting. They were talking about the onboarding process for employees now. It used to be you walk in, you ask for an application, paper, you start writing. They said, nope, they direct you to a website now.
Right.
So everything from that front end acquisition of new employees, new customers, it's all going digital.
Oh, and not too long from now, it'll be all voice too. I mean, blockchain and everything else, and how that's going to change onboarding and everything else is just, it's pretty exciting.
And you guys already have your Amazon Alexa skill developed.
We got our Alexa skill out there that supports people for HR related questions. So that's free. You can
Have
enable.
people been picking up on that yet? Slowly but surely? Or?
It's the challenge is getting the device used in the home into the workplace.
Okay.
So that'll take some time. There'll be a migration of that over the next several years.
Right.
Because right now, I mean, even I have a habit of really using it for music, right? And playing Pandora.
Yeah, just basic stuff at home.
Basic stuff.
Yeah.
Turn on my lights. You know?
That's pretty cool.
So.
Awesome. All right, stay with us right here. All right, Patrick Moraites, top tips, nuggets of advice.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier. I want to thank you for your service. That's awesome.
Thank you for the paychecks.
Yeah. But we were talking tips on how to go about selecting a PEO on your own. So do your due diligence, do your research. You can go to napeo.org. You can check out ESAC, which is ESAC, to do some research on the PEOs out there that are available. I recommend you use a brokerage, a PEO broker or an agency. There's plenty of great ones out there, in addition to the services that we provide. So there's PEO Match, there's PEO Advisors, Employee Leasing Quotes, or PEO Advantage. Work with an expert, but if you want to go at it alone, NAPEO and ESAC, you can do some research, make sure you have all your documents ready to go, and give yourself 3 months so you're not stressing, so you're not under the gun and under the pressure of making a swift and fast decision. Get demos of the technology, make sure you do an analysis or cost analysis of your current pricing versus the new pricing. That way you can make a business decision.
So, Patrick, every single business owner out there can just reach out to you and say, this is what I have, what can you do? And no cost, no obligation.
100%.
Because to me, this thing sounds no-brainer.
Right.
So they can focus on selling their widgets, digging their ditches, and the global domination or whatever the hell their company's doing, right?
Exactly. 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take 2.
There you go. Yeah, it's awesome. You look at where we're at in the economy too, with the first quarter of the year almost over. it's a good time for people to start looking at these end of the year goals. Where are you at? Are you a quarter of the way through your goal that you set? Are you where you want to be? What do you need to do to correct that? It's something that you want to do. Daylight saving time. It's crazy how we changed this daylight savings time, and now it's like my internal compass. I was up at 6:30. Now it's like it feels like it's later now. But you wake
your
up and it's like, what's going on?
Clock?
Yeah, clock. Yeah, internal clock. But yeah. So you look at that, and there's lots of ways that people can get involved with the show. We want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial, your business, your health wheel. So many ways that we can help you. Lots of home-related services here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and consumerqb.com is our website. Of course, you can send an email form at consumerqb.com. We would love to talk to you and be in touch, and just let us know how we can help you. Lots of ways we can help local businesses out there as well. Here in the Tampa Bay market, the Gulf Coast region of Florida, we bring you on the show, help you create a lot of video content that you can then repurpose. And by the way, Patrick, you do a great job repurposing the content, the show content, especially on LinkedIn. I see you're getting 25, 35 likes on some of these posts.
I'm
pretty
getting
neat.
tons of views too.
Yeah.
From the content. I mean, it's just, and I'm getting a lot of direct messages from people that are interested in learning more just by putting the videos out there. I mean, what you guys produce is top notch. So yeah, it goes
Appreciate
a long
that.
way.
Well, it's because you're the PEO Piper.
I'm gonna have to
They're
change.
following
I'm gonna have to
everybody,
rebrand.
following you.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go through a whole new rebranding.
Where's the Piper? I'm after it.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see like the logo.
Yo, look. Come this way, all these little PEOs.
Yeah.